cannot say. Battle is a pure form of expression. It is heart and discipline, reduced to movement and motion.
If I fought Atris, then that might make the truth come out.
Perhaps it may prove truer than conversing with words. In battle, the words are swept away, giving way to actions. Mercy, sacrifice, anger, fear. These are pure moments of expression.
For Grid, I have other questions.
You may ask.
Let's see, I wanted to ask about Atris.
She speaks of you often in anger, but her movements, the motion of her hand, her eyes, do not share the anger of her words. They are only the signs of loss. It has been almost the count of 10 years, yet the thought of you burns within her still.
Well, we did not part on best terms.
I believe that your leaving the Jedi Order may have hurt her more than she will ever admit. It is a difficult thing to speak of, to see Atris unable to confront such strong emotion within herself. You did not care for her, did you? Atris is beautiful and wise.
Well. Let's hope she's not a lesbian. God for her, but such things were never spoken.
I have heard that Jedi sometimes renounce the code by loving another and fall from the Order, and there are others who keep such unions secret.
It's sad I never could talk to Yoli about that, about his wife. It's true. Let's go with the long and sentimental one. Part of the fame of the Jedi is the denial of love. It is not something that can be denied without losing part of yourself or your connection to those that you are sworn to protect.
I see. So there are such unions?
I think the term is pulling a bindo.
Pulling a bindo?
Bad joke, bold guy, long story.
Very well. Are there such unions?
Well, she's pretty persistent. Sometimes, yes, it happens.
That is what I have heard. I was not sure if it was something you had seen or experienced.
No, not personally.
I see. I have asked you many questions. I did not mean to. They are questions that have gathered over years, and I did not wish to ask Atris.
If you have any other questions, you are always welcome to ask. 8 to 4 weekdays.
Thank you, then. I hope this creates some measure of trust between us.
It does, and I thank you. I wanted to ask you something else in return.
You may ask.
Well, I don't see any difference, but why do you look different than your sisters?
I honor the face of my mother. It is not something usually spoken of in the company of others.
I apologize. I meant no offense.
There is no need to apologize. You were merely remarking on something that you saw. There is no wrong in that.
Is it a sensitive subject?
It is not a sensitive subject, but a subject that requires trust. There is no such trust between you and I, and such trust takes time.
Okay, forgetting more questions.
You may ask.
Why are you called handmaidens?
We attend Atris. It is the duty of all of us, from the first of my sisters to me, the last of the handmaidens.
You are the last of them?
I am the last of the handmaidens. This is correct. I train so that one day that will no longer be true.
Your skill is impressive, as is your devotion to your training.
That is not entirely correct. There are times I am distracted. Perhaps once having known the ways of the Jedi, you may understand what occupies my thoughts.
What do you mean?
There is much knowledge on Telos, and only one of the Jedi remain. There is so much about their ways of battle, their forms, their stances, that may be lost forever if the last of the Jedi is taken from the galaxy.
Aha, so she wants to be a Jedi. It's like a pretty version of you, honey. To lose such combat techniques would be tragic indeed.
I know your meaning, but I have not been clear on mine. Stance, form, discipline are a means of expression and communication. They speak one's heart and one's devotion to their cause.
Let's agree, I don't know. The agreed so shows how far you're willing to go for your goals.
It was to the Jedi traitor Malak. It was to the Jedi traitor Revan. When Terrace was destroyed, it showed Malak's heart through its execution and intent. It was brutal, without finesse, but showed his commitment to defeat the Jedi. Yet with Revan, there was the same commitment, but it was a subtle thing, like weaving threads in a tapestry or strokes upon a canvas. He spoke through battle and tactics in a way one could never do in words. He showed his heart at Malachor V, and finally, at the end of the Jedi Civil War. I believe he was speaking to Malak in that final battle, though few knew it.
What do you think Revan was saying?
Through battle, Revan was meeting betrayal with betrayal, and showing Malak the pain he had inflicted on his master. What stronger display than death, for conveying one's sense of being betrayed by one's own student? Revan's anger must have been great indeed. I would have wished to have been there for that final exchange, and seen the truth of their conflict with each other.
Well, we don't have much choice here, so Revan and Malak were driven only by the power of the dark side.
But to say that seems an untruth, based on what I know of the Jedi. The Force can drive others, but there is still choice, is there not? If there is no choice in the Force, then our teachings and our actions are for nothing, and I refuse to believe that is true.
As do I, as do I.
You may ask.
Do you have a name?
Before entering Atris's service, yes, I carried a name, as all the children of the Ichani do.
What was it?
It is not important. My title and rank is of consequence, not my name. I take value in Atris's service, not in myself.
You should take value in yourself as well.
We all have value in our oaths to others, and the promises we make. When we make that pledge, we are pledging ourselves to something greater. When importance is placed on the self, then by such acts the galaxy is unmade.
Do you think I lost myself when I disobeyed the Jedi?
I do not know. That is a question you must ask yourself.
I had some other questions.
You may ask.
That didn't go well. What are you doing?
I am training, so that if danger should that, and I had...
Yes. That's some more questions. Never mind. Yes. Shit. Well, that doesn't matter. Influence is what matters. Let's talk now that I have influence.
Yes?
Can I ask you some questions?
You may ask.
Why do you look different than the old ancestors?
I honor the face of my...
So you have a different mother but the same father.
Yes, that is correct. I feel that I may trust you with such things, so I shall speak of it, if you wish to hear it.
Oh yes, I wish to hear. Yes, I would love to hear.
Though my father's blood I share with my sisters, I wear the face of my mother. My father was Usanis, an Ichani general.
I didn't realize your son had any children while he was cloned, obviously.
He left our family to serve in the Mandalorian Wars, but his choice was not because of battle. He went to join my mother, one whose movements and spirit matched his. His only desire was that they fight together, side by side, for as long as there were enemies amassed against them.
If your face is an indication, she must have been beautiful.
I never saw her face, and she did not return from the final battle of the war. She died in the battle that shattered Malachor 5, and her body was never recovered. My father returned from the Mandalorian Wars, and did not enter battle again. He entered politics, a caste where one's battles are fought through words rather than action.
Well, I should remember to take you to that place if I ever get there. What happened to him?
He was slain by Revan in the Jedi Civil War. When Revan sought to destabilize the Ichani worlds, Revan succeeded. The fact that our father chose battle is not shameful, but that is not the reason he went to war. He went to war to be with the one he loved, but not the one he had pledged himself to. He was disloyal. I am the mark of that disloyalty. It is said that such things run in the blood, and I have fought long to prove that this is not so. That is why I am different from my sisters. Yet I am pledged to them, and Atris, and I would die before betraying them. I tell you this in trust, and ask that you not speak of it to others. I only wish you to know.
Why tell me?
Because when my father returned from the Mandalorian Wars, he walked as you do now. There was something wounded inside him. He did not speak of what had happened there, and with us he was silent, changed. When I look upon you, I see in you an answer to a question I have searched for all my life, and that is why I tell you this now. I do not believe you to be the monster Atris made you out to be. I believe your choice was my father's choice, and it was just as difficult.
Do you blame me for Malachor 5?
Malachor 5 is the place where I lost my mother and my father. But it was their choice to fight the Mandalorians, and to die there, if Malachor was to be their grave. I know it is difficult for others to see why I am here, but it was important that you know one of the reasons, and know that it is not simply duty that I am here, but because I want to be here. I want to fight with you side by side for as long as there are enemies that threaten you. You are a leader. Your stand